Thank you, Leslie. And thank you, Bushra. Good evening. My name is Gabriel Machabanski. I'm the Fair Housing Testing and Education Coordinator at Open Communities, where I work to combat practices of housing discrimination. I'm an Evanstonian, born and raised. I'm also a Latino Jew, the son of Argentine immigrants to this land. My great-grandparents made the transatlantic journey to South America, migrants from Poland, Russia, Turkey, and Spain. I belong to many communities, and to none in particular. My identity is both inherited and chosen. And I'm grateful that I live in a place where our collective identity is an intricately woven fabric of experiences and ancestries. Open Communities has for 43 years been at the forefront of the movement for housing, social, and economic justice throughout the northern suburbs of Chicago. We believe the key to open and inclusive communities is to engage in a collective practice of love, understanding, and accountability. In order to untangle systems of oppression, we must work tirelessly to build welcoming communities where identity is never an issue, difference is valued, and where everyone's voices and interests are equally represented. Now more than ever is a critical moment to stand in solidarity with our Muslim brothers and sisters as they face increased hate speech from public figures and subsequent acts of anti-Muslim bigotry across the nation. I also want to emphasize that this effort does not exist independently of the solidarity we must show for other groups targeted by hate speech and affected by systemic racism. Let us resolutely condemn anti-immigrant sentiment, anti-blackness, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and transphobia, among other forms of intolerance, and take a stand against the increasingly disgusting rhetoric that's running rampant with the media as its mouthpiece. We've all come together tonight unified in this space for the same reason, to condemn hate, but more importantly, to continue to take the high road, to build that society where love prevails over fear. We must tap into our capacity to build community and go on the offensive. What can we do locally to combat Islamophobia? In Evanston, in Skokie, in Wilmette, in Chicago, what can we do to build a society of resilience rooted in community accountability? I would encourage those of us standing against, yet not experiencing Islamophobia, to be proactive about elevating Muslim voices. And be sure not to speak for Muslims. We must listen first. Then ask, how can we be supportive? We can intentionally create spaces that foster intercultural understanding, interfaith and intercultural book clubs, open mics, community gardens, shared iftars and Sabbaths, etc. There are no doubt initiatives going on already. So let's build on those. Let's tell our stories, love and support one another, educate wherever necessary, enforce civil rights, and bring discriminators to justice. Let's continue to advocate that our civic leaders implement practices that are just, and further, push to include people of all faiths and backgrounds in decision-making bodies. History shows that we are greater than the sum of our parts, that as a unified force, we can counter language crafted to divide us. So let's use the energy from today and remind ourselves that our collective freedom is bound up with that of all our fellow humans who are experiencing victimization and oppression. Showing up is the first step. Building community is the next, as well as making our voices of indignation heard in response to the current political climate. This is a window of opportunity to turn up for our neighbors in difficult times and work together to build a community around all its people. We can and we will stand united against hate in all its forms and for unity. Thank you.